Picture this. You are in a room full of people. Maybe it is your workplace. Maybe it is a family gathering. Maybe it is a dinner table with friends you have known for years. And then it happens. Someone says something about you, out loud, in front of everybody. Maybe they made fun of the way you talk. Maybe they brought up something you did wrong a long time ago. Maybe they laughed at your idea, your job, your clothes, your weight. It does not matter what it was. What matters is this. Every single pair of eyes in that room slowly turned toward you. And in that moment, your heart jumped. Your face got hot, your brain went completely blank. So you did one of two things. You either got angry and said something you later regretted, or you went quiet, smiled like nothing happened, and swallowed the embarrassment whole. And later that night, alone, you kept replaying the whole thing in your head, thinking of all the perfect things you could have said. Here is what nobody tells you. The reason it still bothers you is not because of what they said. It is because you did not know what to do in that moment. But today, that changes. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what to do the next time someone tries to humiliate you in front of others. Not just survive the moment, own it. Walk out of that room with more respect than you walked in with. Stay with me, because what I am about to share will completely change how people treat you forever. First, let us talk about what is actually going on when someone humiliates you in public. Because most people get this part completely wrong. When someone embarrasses you in front of others, your brain tells you it is a personal attack. It feels like they hate you. It feels like they are trying to destroy you. But here is the truth, and this truth is going to free you. Most of the time, public humiliation has nothing to do with you. Think of it like this. Imagine a small dog that barks at everything, at cars, at leaves, at the wind. Does that dog bark because the wind did something wrong? No. The dog barks because something is happening inside the dog. People who humiliate others in public are the same way. They are barking. And the barking tells you everything about them and almost nothing about you. They humiliate others because they need attention. They need to feel powerful. They need the group to laugh so they can feel important for just a few seconds. They are deeply scared people hiding behind a sharp tongue and a loud voice. Understanding this does not mean you let them get away with it. It means you stop fighting from a place of panic and start responding from a place of power. Because here is the rule that changes everything. Whoever loses control first loses the room. When you get angry and start yelling back, you have already lost. When you go completely quiet and shrink, you have already lost. The person who stays calm, who does not flinch, that is the person the room respects. So the question is not, how do I destroy this person with words? The question is, how do I stay in control and walk away with my dignity fully intact? I am going to give you 5 ways to do exactly that. 1. The slow blink. The first thing you need to do sounds almost too simple, but do not let that fool you. This one move alone will immediately shift the energy in the room. When someone says something to embarrass you in front of others, do not react right away. Pause. Take a slow breath. Look at them calmly. Blink once slowly. That is it. When someone humiliates you, they are expecting a reaction. They have prepared for your reaction. Their whole plan depends on your reaction. The anger, the tears, the embarrassment, the nervousness. That is what they are waiting for. That is the fuel that makes their little fire burn. When you pause and go completely calm instead, you take away their fuel. You leave them standing in front of everyone with nothing, no fire, no heat. Just an awkward silence that slowly starts to point back at them. Your calmness is not weakness. Your calmness is control. And control is the most powerful thing you can show in a room full of people. The aggressor will start to fidget. The group will start to wonder why this person is so calm. What do they know that everyone else does not? You have not said a single word yet, and you are already winning. 2. The spotlight turn. Here is where most people mess up. They either stay silent too long, or they focus all their energy on responding to the person who just embarrassed them. Both moves keep you trapped. Instead, you are going to do something completely unexpected. You are going to use the group. After your pause, you slowly look away from the person who embarrassed you and look at the people standing around. Not in a desperate searching way, in a calm, curious way, like you are the one observing the situation from the outside. Then you say something simple like, "Did that land weird for anyone else, or is it just me?" Or you say nothing at all, and you simply let your eyes move slowly across the faces in the group with a relaxed, unbothered expression. Not a smile, not a frown, just calm observation. The moment you involve the group, you are no longer the target standing alone. You become the narrator of the moment. You hand the awkwardness back to the room. And the room will feel it land exactly where it belongs, on the person who created it. The aggressor built their whole move around 2 people, themselves and you. They did not plan for you to pull the group in calmly. They did not plan for you to make the entire room quietly evaluate what just happened. Now, instead of the group watching you squirm, they are watching the aggressor stand in silence with nowhere to go. You just flipped the stage without raising your voice or saying a single mean word. 3. The name and acknowledge. This one is going to feel uncomfortable at first, but it is one of the most powerful tools you can use. When someone humiliates you in front of others, name what they just did, out loud, to the group. Say something like, "That felt like it was meant to embarrass me. Am I reading that wrong? Or that sounded like a personal dig. I just want to make sure everyone heard that clearly." When someone humiliates you in public, they are counting on a secret agreement. They say something sharp, the group goes quiet, and everyone pretends it was not a big deal. They slide back into the conversation with no consequences. They got what they wanted, your embarrassment, and paid zero price for it. When you name what they did out loud, you break that agreement. You are telling the room, "I see what just happened. I am not pretending it did not happen. And I am not scared to say it clearly. This is not being dramatic. This is not being a victim." You are the one with the courage to say the true thing out loud. The room will feel that. People will respect you for it, even if they do not say it in the moment. Naming the behavior puts it on the record. Now the person cannot claim they were just joking. They cannot say you are being too sensitive. Because you have already addressed it calmly and directly, you are not the one who looks bad. They are. 4. The redirect. Sometimes the person who humiliates you is not worth your full attention. Maybe they do this all the time. Maybe everyone in the room already knows they are a problem. Engaging with them directly only gives them exactly what they want. In those cases, you use the redirect. The moment they finish their comment, you look at them for exactly 1 second. Long enough to show you heard it, not long enough to give it real importance. Then you physically turn your body away. You turn to someone else in the group and continue the conversation as if nothing significant just happened. You might say, "Anyway, what were you saying before?" Or, "I wanted to hear more about what you were telling me earlier." You are not running away. You are simply choosing where your energy goes. And where you point your energy tells the room what you value. By turning away and continuing a confident conversation, you are saying, without a single word about the insult, that this person's attempt to embarrass you is so far below your level it does not even deserve a full response. You are not deleting them out of anger. You are deleting them out of indifference. And there is nothing more powerful you can do to someone desperate for attention than to make them feel completely invisible. 5. The calm comeback. Sometimes you need to say something back. Sometimes the group needs to hear you speak, and you need to show that you have teeth. Not the loud, angry kind, but the quiet, confident kind that people know better than to test. 3 rules. Keep your voice low, not loud. The person who raises their voice automatically looks out of control. You want your voice to be steady and clear, almost soft, so that people have to lean in to hear you. Keep it short, 1 or 2 sentences maximum. Long speeches make you look defensive. Short, clean responses make you look certain. Do not insult back. You are not trying to win a fight. You are trying to end one without losing any dignity. Here are some examples that work. If someone mocks your job or your ambitions, you say, "That is okay. Not everyone needs to understand where I am going." If someone brings up a past failure, you say, "Yes, I made mistakes. I am grateful. I know how to learn from them." If someone makes a joke about your personal life, you say, "I am comfortable with who I am. That must make me hard to rattle." None of those responses are angry. None of them are mean. But all of them carry a quiet confidence that is almost impossible to argue with. They are not defending. They are not attacking. They are simply standing completely still, like a wall that does not move no matter what is thrown at it. After you say your comeback, do not wait for their response. Just look at them for 1 moment, then let the conversation move forward. Because you are not looking for their approval. You have already approved of yourself. Now I need to talk to you about something that most people skip over. And it might be the most important part of this whole video. If someone humiliated you in public, there is a question you need to ask yourself honestly. Was this the first time this particular person did something like this to you? If the answer is no, then the real problem is not what they said. The real problem is what they have learned about you over time. People do not choose their targets randomly. They test, they push a little. When nothing happens, they push harder. Until one day they are humiliating you in front of a room full of people. They learned that pushing you has no consequences. The tactics I gave you today matter, but they are only half the answer. The other half is what happens after the moment is over. After you walk away with your dignity intact, have a private conversation with that person. Not angry, not emotional, just clear. You look at them and say, "What happened earlier cannot happen again." I am telling you directly because I respect you enough to say it to your face. But it cannot happen again. No long speech, no threats, no drama, just clarity. Clarity is the language confident people speak. And it is the language that bullies understand the most. Because they have spent their whole life looking for people too afraid to be clear. You are not one of those people anymore. When you start handling public humiliation this way, something extraordinary begins to happen. People stop testing you, not because they are afraid of you, not because you became aggressive, but because you stopped being an easy target. You became someone who is calm, clear, and impossible to rattle. The people who used to take shots at you begin to treat you differently. Because every time you hold your ground without losing control, you are rewriting the unspoken rules of how people are allowed to treat you. That confidence, the kind that does not need to announce itself, is what makes people think twice before they open their mouth in your direction. Here is what I want you to understand before you close this video. Dignity is not something other people give you. It is something you claim. And you claim it not by being louder than everyone else, but by being more grounded, more certain, more yourself. The person who humiliated you was counting on your panic, your silence, your anger. They were counting on the old version of you. The person who just watched this video is not that version anymore. Now there is one more thing I want to share with you. And I think it might be even more important than everything we talked about today. It is about what happens before the humiliation even starts. How to carry yourself in a way that makes certain kinds of people think twice before they ever try you in the first place. That is in the next video. Subscribe right now and hit the bell so you get notified the moment it goes live. And before you do anything else, drop a comment below and tell me, what is the hardest part of handling public humiliation for you? Is it staying calm? Is it finding the right words? Is it the replay that keeps happening in your head afterward? Tell me. Because your answer might shape what I cover next.